Hey cooks, if you can believe it, we are closing out October.
Yay!
How is that possible? Right? So today we're going to be closing out our look at Molly Stevenson's All About Braising. This was our cookbook pick for this month. We were braising all this month. We did 4 recipes out of this book. I'm going to tell you what I liked and what I kind of didn't like out of this book. And also, we're going to bring in the Cookbook Club Pick for November. Yeah. Welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. So I don't know about you, but I had a lot of fun in October with this cookbook. We came off of doing Dutch oven cooking, and I wanted to move into braising because we all got new pieces at the FTT, the factory to table. Braising and Dutch oven cooking was all the rage over the summer, right? So I figured that we would take November and do a second. We started with Dutch ovens. We moved into braising. A lot of great techniques that I learned this time around. I've always just thought about like Dutch oven cooking and braising. It's just on the stovetop. And one of the things I've learned in the last 2 months and in this is you can start it on the stovetop and then take it to the oven and just let it hang out on there and give it like a set it and forget it kind of cook. I really like that. I learned that technique over the course of the last 2 months and in this book. So this is Molly Stevens' All About Braising. There's not many total books about braising out there. There's books that have braising as like a chapter or part of a book, but there's not that many that just cover braising. So when I was looking for a cookbook, I picked this one because this has been the most popular, and it is a James Beard Award winner. So I figured we would try to tackle it, right? So we started out this month doing braised leeks. That dish was amazing to me. It kind of took me a while, you know. She says that this is the art of uncomplicated cooking. And it wasn't complicated. None of the recipes were overly complicated. She just cooks all of them fresh, right? So there was a lot of steps in all the recipes, so just be prepared for it. I really don't think that any of these are like weeknight meal kind of things. These are kind of special weekend kind of cooks. You have to prepare yourself for that. The leeks were delicious. I had never braised leeks before. I use leeks, but I've never had them braised. It tasted like a sophisticated dish. I don't think it was overly complicated. It would be great for a holiday table. I could see that at Christmas. I could see that at Thanksgiving. It was a dish, when I ate it, I was like, it felt fancy, even though it wasn't fancy.
It was tender, delicious.
Yeah. And with the bacon on the top, right? So I say that recipe was a winner. The next we moved on to a recipe that has a long name, right? Country style pork ribs braised with chipotle, roasted tomatoes, and red peppers. This recipe was a little bit of work because we had to roast the peppers, then we had to make the sauce, and I forgot the chipotle, so then I added it back in, right? We braised the meat, we made the sauce we browned the meat, we made the sauce in the braiser, and we threw it in the oven, and it was fantastic, wasn't it?
You have a lot of different flavors. For those people who say, I could have done the same thing in my crock pot. You can cook in a crock pot, but you can't brown your meat in a crock pot. You can't roast your peppers in a crock pot. So you would have been missing some of the flavors.
Yeah, you couldn't do it 100% in the crock pot because you have to roast those peppers off. And you would need a crock pot that has the saute setting, which not a lot of them have that. So you need to do it in a multi-cooker. So I thought it was a great recipe. There was quite a few steps in it, and I thought it kind of took us a long time to make it, but it was tasty. There was a sophistication to it.
It makes you almost want to just get a can of fire roasted peppers and just throw those in.
Yeah, there's ways that you could shorten that. If you got jarred roasted red peppers, or if you roasted them the day before or something like that, that would shorten up the recipe. In and of itself, It was a great recipe, and I could see you doing a chicken with that as well. So the next recipe we did was the Yankee pot roast redo. And I got this pick because a lot of people on Reddit said when they were reviewing this book, they all made that and they love it. I think it was a good recipe. I think it had a really rich gravy. The turnips or whatever, I think they soaked up a little too much of the liquid. So they didn't have any character of their own. They were just they just tasted like the broth to me.
Amy had a great time. She's not really a fan of eating big chunks of meat. But she ate those vegetables.
I ate the vegetables, right? And Eric ate the beef. So it was
good.
It was a pretty involved recipe. It's a weekend recipe, but it was tasty. So the last recipe we did was whole braised chicken with bread, stuffing, and bacon. This is what it looks in her world, right? I would say it was tasty. The stuffing was delicious, but I also I turned it into Amy's stuffing. She put pine nuts and currants in there, and I was just like, I'm not doing that, right? And she used ham, so I switched it to sausage.
And she wanted to stuff it in the bird, and we never stuffed the bird.
Yeah, she wanted to stuff the bird and not put any liquid in the part that you stuff. I don't stuff it in the bird. I know that's controversial. Whatever, I don't do that, right? It was tasty, though, when I added more seasoning, and it seemed like throughout I had to add more seasoning to my own taste. It was tasty. I was worried about that because to me, when you take a whole chicken, you just put in some liquid, you throw it in the oven with the lid on it. I'm thinking you're just going to get some boiled chicken out of it, right? But taking that lid off and letting it brown up, I did get a little brown of the skin, though I don't really eat the skin. But it did brown the bacon. It was a tasty dish. It was quite a bit of work.
And it was moist and tender.
Yeah.
We were afraid because we normally brine ours.
Well, that was one question because the meat itself lacked that little bit of saltiness that I get when I brine a chicken, and I really miss that. If I was going to do this recipe again, I would definitely brine it. But
it was moist. So if you're not used to the salt from a brine.
Yeah, if you're not used to that, then whatever. To me, it lacks salt because I'm used to eating it brine. So tasty, tasty recipe. So what do I think about this book overall? So my thoughts of this book. It is a great book. It had a lot of variety of meats that you can braise. It has some vegetables. It's definitely not a book if you're vegan or vegetarian. The drawback for me in this book is I primarily eat chicken. I rarely eat beef and I rarely eat pork, and I don't eat a lot of those game kind of things. And the number of chicken recipes in this book is very limited. So if you are a heavy chicken eater, if that's primarily your diet, I'm not sure if you're going to find like a lot of recipes that look on the surface to be something you want to make. Of course, all the recipes you can substitute out meats, so you can make some of these beef and pork recipes with chicken. You might want to change up, the type of wine you use. If it's a beef and it's usually a red, just switch that up for a dry white. And also maybe switch the stock you use from a chicken to a beef. It depends on the type of meat you use. And you might want a lighter flavor on that than what you would use with the beef. That was my biggest beef about this. So just when I thumbed through here initially, I was like, there's not a lot of recipes, because I eat chicken. And I'm like, I don't know if there's a ton of recipes that I would even want to make out of here. But also, if you're creative, like this is veal pot roast with almonds, raisins, and marsala. You can easily make that with chicken, right?
Yeah.
Caribbean pork shoulder, chicken, right? The ribs, we could have made that with chicken. Honey glazed 5-spice baby back ribs, chicken. Pork riblets braised in a Vietnamese caramel sauce, chicken, right?
Just change the cook time.
Well, spaghetti a la carbonara with braised slab of bacon.
Chicken and bacon.
Yeah. lamb.
Chicken.
Braised lamb shanks Provençal. Chicken. Mist grilled mint lamb. I don't know if you'd use mint on lamb. Moroccan spice rub lamb shoulder chops. You could do a chicken, right? So I think this is a great book, especially if you like a lot of different variety of meats and you want to learn to braise. This book should be on your list. And guess what? For one person, they're going to get a copy of it. So if you guys watched my little,
our last video.
yeah, studio kitchen, I had mentioned that I bought another copy of this because I thought I had one, but I couldn't find it. So I bought another copy and then I found it, right? So this one came in the mail and I have an extra copy and we are doing a giveaway. So how do you get in on this giveaway? I'm doing this as a secret giveaway, right? Nobody knows about this but you. So leave a comment down below saying, I want to get in on the giveaway. We're going to announce the giveaway on the next cookbook club. You have to live in the U.S., the continental U.S., because I don't want to ship this all over the place. And I need your information, right? I'm going to need your name sent to me, the winner's name. I'm going to put it into a randomizer. And the winner, I'm going to need their name, address sent to me, and their phone number sent to me using the Gmail account associated with your YouTube account. Every YouTube account has a Gmail account. So if you've never used that account, go to YouTube, sign in, click over to Gmail, and it will open your Gmail account. I need it from your Gmail. And number 3, I'm not hunting after nobody, right? If you don't send me an email within 2 days, I'm going to move on to the next person on the list because that was my problem. I spent too much time chasing people around. I'm not going to do that anymore. So this is up for grabs. Go ahead and leave a comment if you want to get on a giveaway. The deadline for the competition is midnight on Halloween. So leave a comment.
11:59 p.m. Eastern Time.
11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, Halloween night.
If it's November 1, oh well.
Yep. So it's officially time to bid farewell to All About Braising, Molly Stevens, and welcome in the new cookbook that's going to take its place up on the cookware stand, right? Bye, All About Braising.
Bye.
So, what are we doing for November? What do you think we're doing, Boo?
Well, it's going to be something tasty.
Hopefully,
Because we're doing a lot of cooking in November.
Yeah. We got some big cooks coming up. So I figure since it's cold outside, it is baking season. We need to stay with baking season. Our baking season runs through April because it doesn't start getting warm until April. Yeah. So I had some things going in my mind. One was a specific theme, and I figure we need to go back to basics and do some general baking. And then as we move forward, we'll move into specific areas. So,
are we going to make some?
The Cookbook Club for November is King Arthur Baking Company's all-purpose baker's companion. Yay! King Arthur, we're coming to your house this month for November. We're going to do some baking. So we're going to do a pie. We might do a bread. We might do some cookies. We might do a cake. We might bake who knows what.
We might go into overtime and do some more cooking, just not tell you about it. So
I haven't picked the recipes yet. So I got this book actually from my good friend Cash. He has been watching the show since he was a little guy, right? Mm. He's getting ready to graduate from high school. He's looking at colleges and stuff. And he sent me this, I think, for Christmas or my birthday. So this is a revised, updated version. This has been a James Beard Foundation Book Award. We are cooking out of the King Arthur Baker's Companion. Yay! So this is a great book for beginner bakers. This is a great book for someone who baked a while ago and wants to get back into it. And it's also good for someone who does a lot of baking, but they want to expand their reach, right? Because this book covers everything. It's an all-purpose baking book. Breakfast, quick breads, buckles, cobblers, and crisps, crackers and flatbreads, yeast breads, sourdough, cookies and bars, cakes, pies and tarts, and pastries, all in this book. I haven't picked banana bread French toast, chocolate chip muffins, apple dumpling, how to make crackers, flatbreads, monkey breads, cinnamon rolls. Look at that. There isn't a picture for every recipe. English muffins. Might be good for Christmas breakfast. Look at that. Zucchini breads, cakes, mousse cakes, pizzas, croissants. Do I dare try to make croissants? Whoopie pies, right? This is going to be a fun month, I think, right? We are on to King Arthur Baking Company's The All-Purpose Baker's Companion. This is our book for November. Yay, right? Thanks for joining me. And if you're not a subscriber to Amy Learns to Cook, go ahead and hit that button and the bell so you'll get notifications. We do a cookbook a month, 4 recipes a month. November has 5 weeks, huh?
So take a weekend off. You deserve it.
I might take a weekend off. Anyway, join me, bakers. Let's do this.